In this video, you'll be taking the compatibility test by examining two of your closest and most significant relationships using basic numerology and the core colour behaviour theories of Hippocrates. I'm Hayden Crawford and I'm a wellness coach specialising in colour therapy. So most people have one core blueprint and then maybe one or two supplementaries, which might be less obvious. By deciphering which ones apply to you can not only help you understand yourself and other people better, but it'll also help you consciously choose more compatible relationships in your life moving forward. So what are the colour archetypes? I'm going to simplify this for you for ease. So first of all, we start with the reds. Now the reds are very quick and they're happy to take control when required. Now they can be a little bit difficult to deal with and have been known to sort of tread over people to get to where they want and to attain the success that they desire. They're the archetypal warrior and it's governed by the element of fire. So these people very much will kind of use the sword to get to where they need to get to in life. Reds are dominant and they love to be in control. Their negative traits are that they are pushy, strict, tough and hard. But their positive characteristics are they're very determined, they're very ambitious and they're very willing to take the lead. If you're a yellow, you'd be inspiring, creative and funny. You've got the ability to raise people's vibrations and uplift their moods. However, you do like to steal the limelight when given the opportunity, so you can deny people the opportunity to get involved in your very unrealistic conversations. Now, yellows are the archetypal air people, so they're still very determined like the reds, but they're a lot more easygoing. The negative traits of the yellows is that they can be hot-tempered, egotistical and manipulative, but their positive traits are their enthusiasm, they're inspirational, motivational and quite dramatic. Greens are great company as they've got easygoing natures and they genuinely care for other people. However, they do tend to lack a bit of focus and clarity, so they can find it quite challenging to make decisions, and they also tend to avoid confrontation, but can be known to gossip behind your back, so watch out. Now they are the archetypal earth people, so they like to work for the collective. Now they honour stability and security as well, and like to build solid foundations for the future. Okay, so the negative traits of the greens is that they can be stubborn, compliant and awkward, but their positive traits are that they can be supportive, respectful and obliging. Blues are analytical, calm, thoughtful and reflective. Now they tend to think very carefully before they communicate, and this critical thinking can cause them to become very suspicious of other people and question their intentions. These are the archetypal water people. Like the water, it can devastate a whole landscape, but when controlled with wisdom, it can also be bottled. Negative traits of the blues is they can be critical, indecisive and moralising, but their positive traits is they can be methodical, thoughtful and exceptionally diligent. So which one are you? Are you a dominant red, an inspiring yellow, a stable green or an analytical blue? Or maybe you're a combination of two or three. Usually you have one very significant one that you can relate to straight away, and the others are kind of secondary, as I mentioned earlier. Reds and blues aren't really that compatible because the blues are far too slow for the reds who want immediate results and fast action. There can also be a disconnect between the reds and the greens, and that's because there's a conflict on how they prefer to treat people. See, the greens are humanitarians at heart and they want harmony and balance and respect for people, whereas the reds really, will walk over anybody to get to where they need to get to in life. The main difference between a blue and a yellow is quite significant actually. The blue is introverted and the yellow is extroverted. One's outgoing and one goes inwards, wants to be on his own, wants to be partying and being sociable. So that way you might find that they clash a little bit. Blue and green should never be seen? Well, not necessarily in this case. When these two come together, they actually get on fairly well. The blue is quite introverted, the green likes harmony, so there won't be any disruptions going on within this relationship. They might find that one is a little bit critical of the other and the other one then gossips about the other one behind its back. Two reds coming together can be a little bit of an explosive pairing because both are dominant and want to take the lead. So expect fireworks with this dynamic. If you get a yellow and a red coming together, it's a little bit better because both want to get results. However, the constant conversations and unrealistic expectations of the yellow can do the head in of the realistic red. Two greens coming together will create a very balanced and stable environment. Green sits in the centre of the colour spectrum, so it is all about harmony. So when these two actually get together, they will want peace and tranquility within that dynamic. Two blues coming together, well, they might find it quite difficult making any decisions whatsoever. They're both quite analytical and they tend to do things very slowly, so it could be a long, hard struggle to get anything achieved. Two easygoing and sociable yellows coming together will have a lot of fun. There'll be constant conversations, lots of laughter. But after an initial burst of enthusiasm, they might find that they go off on a bit of a tangent, so they might find it difficult to focus. In a team environment, it's really important to have a representative from each of the different colour camps. Now that is because this will create balance and harmony within that environment, and they all have complementary skills which enable them to be able to get the best outcome in the quickest possible time. Too much of one colour and it can cause absolute devastation. So the secret is to honour people's skills and experience for exactly who they are and bring it all together in a huge, great big collaborative. That is where the magic starts to happen. Okay, so let's move on to numerology now. As we know, it can be used to estimate the potential for a long-term compatibility with a prospective partner. It's very accurate and it will help you to maintain healthy dynamics within the relationships that you choose. It can also be used to address issues within an existing relationship and see it from a fresh perspective. The most important number in your comparison is the ruling number. Now this can be calculated by adding up all of the numbers in your date of birth and then reducing them down to a single digit. Now if yours adds up to a 10, I want you, for the purpose of this exercise only, to reduce it down to a 1. If you're an 11, I want you to reduce that to a 2. And if you're a 22, I want you to add the 2 and 2 together and reduce it to a 4. Okay, so it's exceptionally beneficial for you to build a relationship with a partner who has a compatible ruling number to yours. And this is because those dominant personality traits and those characteristics will always be present in both of you. And for long-term happiness, fulfillment and harmony in that dynamic, it can be activated through the way in which you communicate. When you're not compatible with the ruling number of your partner, it will suggest that a certain amount of compromise is going to be required within that dynamic, which can lead to mistrust, difficulties in communication, or even a potential breakup at a later stage. Okay, so let's put this to the test, shall we? Okay, so first of all, I'd like you to select one person that you have a fantastic relationship with. Now this could be one of your kids, your brother or sister, it could even be your partner. And I also want you to select somebody that you have challenges with currently. Now this could be your boss, an auntie or an uncle, whoever. So work out who you're going to choose, and then I want you to calculate their ruling number. Okay, so you already know yours. I want you to calculate theirs next, okay? Okay, so have you done that now? Great. The next step is to analyze this chart and tell me if your ruling numbers are a great fit, whether they're usually compatible, whether they're neutral, or whether they require some compromise. The final step is to put your core behavioural colour together next to theirs and your ruling numbers, and then leave those details in the comments section below. Once I have a look through them, I will then send you a response with some more information about that dynamic, which will help you along the way. Sound good? Great. and you know what's coming next. Please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the bell for future notifications, and then watch my next video. I'll be back next week with some more colourful insights. See you very soon. Bye for now.